Well, home fires remain all too common here in the Central Valley. In fact, the American Red Cross responds to a disaster every 8 minutes, and the vast majority are home fires. Here now with an important reminder as we head into Fire Prevention Week is Taylor Poisall with the American Red Cross of the Central Valley. All right, so we see it all the time. I hear it on the scanners. We report on it in the newsroom. Home fires. So in your experience, you guys respond to a lot of them. What's the #1 cause of home fires?
The Red Cross responds to, like you said, dozens and dozens, well, hundreds of thousands of disasters a year. And that's the same here in the Central Valley. It's our most frequent disaster. Volunteers go and help provide immediate assistance after a home fire. And the majority of them are caused by cooking fires. So we are encouraging people to practice food safety and cooking safety and make sure that they're aware of that as we head into the fall season.
So I actually was down in Kingsburg talking to the fire department down there for a segment that we're doing for Fire Prevention Week, and they have the same message: cooking safety at home. And I shared a story about a barbecue fire that I started at my house. It was small and I got control of it. What are some ways that we can stay safe when we're cooking at home?
A staggering fact that stands out to me is that 70% of us have left the kitchen while we were cooking something. And that is the #1 thing to do, is to not leave the stove or oven unattended, because sparks can fly and create fires in the kitchen. So make sure that you're always keeping an eye out on what you're cooking, that your children and pets are staying 3 feet away from the cooking so that they're not, accidentally knocking something over, and that you're setting a timer and making sure that you're not leaving something in the oven for too long and it starts to burn.
Yes, me and my producer were just talking about pizzas in the oven and forgetting about them. That is a very good point about cooking and not leaving things unattended, because weird things happen when you're not looking. And I have a big dog who's curious, and so things can happen if you're not paying attention. You have a list on your website of 10 ways that we can stay safe while we're cooking at home. I've actually put that on our website as well. What other things are there that we can do to help prevent home fires?
Yeah, like back to what you said about dogs that get too close to things. Like, don't leave an oven mitt or a towel too close to the stove because they might reach for it or something. So just kind of practicing basic awareness is really helpful. And then on the education side, that you're practicing a home fire escape plan, that everyone in the family at the home knows what to do in the event of a fire. You may only have 2 minutes to get out safely when you have a home fire. So that practice is essential, and smoke alarms can help give you that extra warning. So making sure that you're testing them and that they work. And if you need them, you can call the Red Cross and volunteers will come out and install them for you.
Absolutely. When you hear that, and then when you hear that beep, when the batteries die, don't just go, deaf to it. Yeah. Don't just get used to it as a normal sound in your home. Replace those batteries. So back to my barbecue fire at my house. I think it's a really important practice to stay clean and organized when you're cooking at home. I mean, restaurants have inspections all the time, and that is why they inspect, so that you don't have grease fires and you don't have things and messes that can cause fire. That's exactly why I started a little barbecue fire at my house. But I will say I was very proud that I grabbed a box of baking soda and I poured it all over the barbecue, and we were saved. And then that day I cleaned out the barbecue. So had I been staying on top of that, we would have saved a little disaster at my house.
Yeah, that quick action can really make a difference.
It can, and that's why we should visit your website so that we can learn all of those things to do if we do run into something like that at our homes. You just got back from being out in the field for the Red Cross. Where were you?
I was in Florida for Hurricane Idalia, helping the team there. So we at the Red Cross are experiencing twice as many large disasters as we had since the last decade. So the Red Cross is actively busy. We know of those big disasters, but these home fires are the ones that keep our local teams the busiest. And so anyone practicing that home fire safety or learning more about preparedness is really helpful, not only for us so you don't have a disaster, but that your family's not going through a tragedy like that.
Yes. So the things that we can control, the safety of our homes, we should really take heed of their advice so that they can go out and respond to things that we can't control, like the weather or the climate. Taylor, thank you so much for being here. We will have all the information online. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Well, organizations around the country continue to try and solve the affordable housing crisis in the United States. How Habitat for Humanity is using corporate sponsors to build new futures for families. Next.